Good Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm Mark Dyer. Welcome to my studio. Hope you all had a good week. Thanks for joining me for another exciting segment of what the hell's he done up to this week. So, anyway, I'm here to promote my studio and my work. Get on my high horse occasionally and talk about things I probably shouldn't. Anyway, so if you're interested in any of my work, please contact me through Facebook here, or you can also visit my website at dyerfineart.com. So we've got the shameless act of self-promotion out of the way. Let me get on. How are you, Joseph? Get on with the questions that I had. It's kind of a reoccurring question. Who are my influences? Well, probably the biggest artist influence in my life has been an artist that was a very good friend of mine, Selma Grossman. Selma Grossman was an artist from Ernesto. Was an artist from Southern California, fantastic woman, Holocaust survivor, did these amazing figures made out of figures, very, very heart-wrenching work. I loved her work. It spoke volumes without even having to say anything. So she was also a fiber artist. She did a lot of knot work. I would visit her home. If anybody visited her home and you sat down in a chair, you were always within reach of something to work with, a pen, a paper, string, pipe cleaners, anything. If you weren't engaged while you were talking, then she would pick something up and hand it to you. You would do something creative while you were discussing things. Spent many hours at her kitchen table talking and drawing and all sorts of things, and also her at mine doing little clay pieces and assemblages, and just an amazing woman. I have easel that I paint that was hers that she gave me. I paint on it every day, and I think of her every day, an amazing woman, amazing influence on what I do here in my studio, and just the way that I approach my work. So Selma Grossman, Portland area, the Fiber Museum there in downtown Portland. If you happen to see her name, go and see her work there. So probably another one is Carmen Herrera, a little-known artist until she was in her 90s. Well, actually, she was a well-known artist. It's just in a male society, not very well received. I love her shapes of her paintings. She a very focused woman, very determined woman, finally had a 100-year show, amazing, amazing artwork. I just love her to death. I love, again, what she does and how she does it, never altering from who she is, an amazing influence on my work. Alma Thomas, another amazing modern abstract artist who was kind of a pioneer in the field. I love her work. I love the way she handles color. I love just her whole being of what she does in her work. Very, very influential on what I do in my studio. Grace Harding, Helen Frankenthaler, Henry Matisse, of course, has a big influence on what I do in my studio. Pablo Picasso, another big influence. I'm working on coming up with a whole series now using a friend of mine, hopefully as a model for some upcoming paintings, kind of based on the composition of Picasso and some of Matisse's odalisque paintings, but using the male form as opposed to the female form. Hi, how are you, Sonny? How you been? So, so those are really my big influences in the studio. If you're on my Facebook list, you've influenced me in some way. I keep my friends around, whether you're an artist or non-artist. There's a reason why you're on my Facebook page. You all influence me and inspire me on a daily basis. I love all of my Facebook friends. You're amazing people. Right now, Oweje Ding, Edward Ding, Chinese artist. I love the fabulous things that he does, kind of erotic stuff. Mark Davis, another, he's a sculptor. Amazing, amazing sculptures, mobiles. I just love his work, very, very inspired, very, very influenced, and very, very much fire under my ass to keep me going. I like the fact that people, especially my artist friends, really kind of drive me to be a better artist too. Just by seeing their work, I could waste my whole day looking at their work, but I also need to do my own work in the studio. But so if you're on my Facebook page, that's why. It's because you really inspire me, and I totally appreciate that. I don't know that I always am able to express those things. Brendan Clancy is another one. I love the man's work. Great being, great human. I love what he does. So again, if you're on my Stuart, how are you? If you're on my list, you're part of what I do here in my studio on a daily basis. Ulrich, Coro, fabulous work. Another man that really inspires me. Another artist that really inspires me, keeps me going. It's nice to wake up and see what you guys are doing over a cup of coffee before I get into my studio in the morning. It really kind of fires me up and gets me motivated for my day. So I work really long hours in my studio. I work, rest, and work, and rest, and work, and rest. I suffer from insomnia, so I work crazy hours. My sleep patterns are really off. Excuse me. But this is how I kind of work with that. Blessing and a curse kind of thing. So that's kind of brings me to another thing is earlier when I was doing one of these videos, I got interrupted by someone giving me a video call. I don't appreciate that unless you and I have talked about it and I know you're calling. I don't like to just receive unannounced calls like that. I have a cell phone. There's one person in the world that has that cell phone number. Pam, I'm very sorry for your loss today. You're in my heart. But Pam, actually 2 people have that number. So I'm a very private person. I'm a very driven person. I could very well be a recluse. I don't go out of the house much or out of the studio much. I go outside, but I don't leave the property very often. Fine by me. So that's just kind of the way it is. So getting back to kind of Edward and what Ulrich are doing, really fabulous, fantastic art that people are labeling erotic, homoerotic. For me, there is no such thing as those things. Those are words put on us artists by people who are trying to control the masses. That's not what art is about. I'm a man, I own a penis. If you're a woman, you own a vagina. Chances are, I know that I've seen vaginas, and I know that you've probably seen a penis. Get over it. It's time to get past all of this nonsense and really start being proud of who we are as opposed to shameful. The Bible teaches you about Adam and Eve and the shame. That's ludicrous. Everyone throughout history has carried a body around. Everyone has had this nakedness. Those are just rules and regulations made up to censor us. So Facebook and another number of the other applications, have been doing a lot of censorship and have come out discussing that. Prior to this, over the last couple of years, I've been censored a number of times. I've been put in Facebook jail, and I really felt targeted. I also feel that there are a lot of gay artists that are being targeted simply because they're gay artists, not because they're doing any kind of eroticism or anything pornographic. How people view these things is in their own minds. So, Grom, how are you? I just realized that was you. It's difficult. So if you are friends with artists and you're on Facebook, please go to the feedback communities and voice your discontent with the new censorship policy. While I understand part of what they're doing might be a necessity, I also think that they're throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. You cannot tell me that they cannot censor better if they're afraid of child pornography. That's the whole premise of why they're censoring everybody, is because of the risk of child pornography. You can't tell me that they don't know the difference between child pornography and art. They've even come out and said any art, digital art or pre-existing art, old masters, one of the things that's been going around is the sculpture of David that they've been censoring. So please go and voice your concern. This is ludicrous. This is nothing but puritanical regime trying to control the masses and steer us in a direction that we really don't need to go. We need art in our society. We need art in our life. It not only shows us what we've been through, but it shows us what we might experience, and so it's a good thing. So please, again, just voice your concern about those censorships. So the other thing that really influences me in my studio, and somebody's asked me about this, is who I'd like to read. I'm not a big reader simply because I'm dyslexic, but there are a few that I really like. For me, being able to read is about the tenor and the pattern of the way someone writes or the way the writing is. There has to be a cadence in order for me to feel comfortable reading as someone who's dyslexic. But I also think there's a lot of merit in what they write. As many of you know, I post a lot of Walt Whitman. That was one of the first censorship things that I got a couple of years ago. I posted a quote about that Walt Whitman had done referring to homosexuality, and within a matter of minutes it was removed, and then I was blocked for 24 hours. That was my first suspension. That was a couple of years ago. So that was censorship then, targeted at homosexuality. So I'm not influenced by him because he's a homosexual. I'm influenced by him because of his creative genius and the way that he writes and the pattern in which he writes. Another one that I really, really admire and love her work is Maya Angelou. Again, it's the cadence and the pattern in which she speaks. It's the desire and her ability to really portray what's in her heart. I just love how she just brings everything to life. So probably one of my favorite books to read is Cage Birds. So if you get a chance, read that. Miguel Hernandez, I love, again, his poetry, but again, it's about the tenor and the pattern of which he speaks and writes, and it really moves me and grabs me and touches me. Another one is contemporary. One of my Facebook friends. I love this man to death. I love how he talks. I love how he his passion for life. Hi Eric, how are you? So and that's Philip F. Clark. Philip, I admire him so much. I love the way he writes, not only with his professional life, but even his post. I just love to read his posts. I love waking up to my Facebook friends and drinking a cup of coffee and seeing some of this. We kind of get lost in the chaos and the nonsense around us, but if we can really kind of focus on those creative things that we do, it makes my day to wake up and see what you've done, and just even how you approach your daily life. It makes a difference in how I approach my day in the studio. So it's been just a wonderful experience for me to have social media, and I hate to be on social media complaining about social media, about censorship, but that's kind of the way it is. So shit happens. I'm kind of a gruff man. I was raised in a really rough family, and so I've polished my edges, but occasionally I like to let them show a little bit that haven't been polished. So anyway, that's it for me for the week from the studio. I work 7 days a week here, so I'm always doing something. Like I said, I have a new up-and-coming project that I'm working on. So I've been working on the Sun on the Moon projects. I'm going to continue those, and then I'm going to start a new edition, probably connected with those. So I'm really excited about the upcoming prospects of what I'm doing here. Hope you all enjoy my work. Again, head on over to direfineart.com. I appreciate everyone tuning in and listening, and I appreciate everyone commenting on my work. And you all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Thank you so much.